Hi, hello, welcome to Dr. Zahir Math. How are you all? Good to see you again in a nice video. So, in this video, I'm going to teach you 6.4 graphs of sine and cosine function. Okay, Math 002, Module 2. Right. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to stay updated on my latest videos. Today, we are going to explore the graph of sine and cosine functions. Okay. I'll break it down each and every problem into easy steps to make sure you can follow along with me. Be sure to take notes. I told you in the last video how to take the notes. When the video is keep running, divide the screen into two equal parts and open a notepad and keep writing on the side whatever I'm doing, just like in the class. Okay? And after that, once the video is over, just study the same thing with the rules and practice everything. Close the notebook and do it again without seeing anything from your book. And after finish, then mark yourself whether your steps are correct or not. This is the way to study math. Okay, if you practice like this, your math knowledge will improve and the formulas will be in your storage of memory. Okay, right. Be sure, okay, to take the notes on the important points. If this explanation helps you, please give the video a thumbs up, right? The small thumbs up will boost the other people to learn many things, right? Feel free to share your thoughts or ask any questions in the comment section below. So let's get started. Let's go. So it's a nice graph, okay? Sine and cosine curves we are going to study. Sine and cosine curves. Only two curves we are going to study. We are not going to study all the curves, which is tan, cot, secant and cosecant. We are not going to study. So in this course, we are going to study only two curves, which is sine and cosine functions. Right. Look at the picture of this graph. I just gave you the two pictures. Okay. Right. Have you seen this type of picture where we used to see in the hospital, right? So in the hospital, in the monitor, these graphs will be running, right? And also you will see in your future, right? In your major courses, you will see in the electronics labs, these type of patterns will be seen. Okay. Right. Nothing to worry. So look at the curves. There are two graphs I've given. One is sine curve, right? Another one is cosine curve I have given, right? Can you see any difference between these curves? Can you find out? Just I'll give you 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, did you find anything? What's the difference between two curves? Yes, of course, right. So can you see that this curve goes through the 0, 0, 0 and this curve is not passing through 0, 0, 0. So this is the main important point you have to remember. Sine curve, okay, sine curve or the sine graph, whatever it is, both are same. It goes through 0, 0. In English, we call it as origin, okay, right. So the sine curve goes through 0, 0, 0. And this cosine curve, right, it never goes through 0, 0, never. So these are this is the first important point you need to remember, right? So this is the first important point. What is that? Sine curve passes through 0, 0 or goes through, simple English for you, passes through 0, 0. And the cosine curve doesn't passes through 0, 0. Keep in your mind. So sine curve passes through the origin. Cosine curve never passes through the origin. This is the first important point. Once again, repeat. So sine curve passes through 0, 0 and the cosine curve never passes through 0, 0. Okay. What is the next things did you find it? Okay. Next thing you find it is this one. Can you see that? There is a 1 here. There is a minus 1 here. There is a 1 here. There is a minus 1 here. So if you see the graph, you just go here and then come back to 0. Again come back to minus 1. Again come back to 0 and then again 0 and then minus 1 and then 0 and then plus 1. So it is not going to any other number other than these two numbers. Can you see that? Any other number it is going that? No, no, no. Right. Look at this graph also. This graph also, right? So it's goes starting from here 1 and then coming to 0 and then go down minus 1 and then going to 0 and then again going to 1 and then coming to 0, and then coming to -1, then 0, then going to +1, and keeps going. Also in the left hand side it's keep going, right? So is there any other number? Usually in general we draw any curve, it goes like this, it goes like this, it goes like this. But these two curves, it's not going like that. Maximum it's reaching this point here, and maximum it's reaching this point here. Here also maximum it reaches here, and maximum it reaches here. And every time it reaches the same number, every time it reaches the same number. Can you see that? It reaches the same number here, and it reaches the same number here. Okay. In English, we call it as the maximum distance the graph touch is called as amplitude. What do you call this one? Amplitude. So for every curve, you should keep in your mind, for every curve, you should keep in your mind. Again, I'm telling, for every curve, you should keep in your mind, it reaches to your amplitude in the top and in the down. This is the second important point you should remember before sketch a graph. Teacher, why do I need to study this? As an engineer, you need to know sketching of curves. Especially these are two special curves, sine and cosine, right? So you should know how to draw a sine curve and a cosine curve. So what's the first point I said? Sine curve passes through 0, 0, 0. Sorry, 0, 0, only two dimension. Sorry, cosine curve never passes through 0, 0. This is the first point I said. And then the second point I said what? Sine curve or cosine curve, whatever it is, it goes up to the maximum point on the upper side, right? And it goes maximum to the lower part also in the negative side. So this is called amplitude. Amplitude means in English called maximum distance or displacement, whatever it is. Amplitude means maximum distance, right? For example, if I say the kilometer from Yambu to Jeddah, it's 500 kilometers. I can say maximum 500, right? It can be 350, it can be 300 or something. But here, in this case, you must reach the maximum, right? Maximum is amplitude, the distance. So all your graphs should reach to your amplitude on the top, should reach to the amplitude in the down, okay? Negative side as well as positive side. This is the second important point. Next, the third important point, you're going to talk about period. What is that? The third important point is period. What do you mean by period? Right. Suppose I'm coming to your class, math period. So math period starts at morning 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock is the math class. So it means what? I'll be starting the classes at 8 o'clock and then I'll finish exactly at 9 o'clock. It means my period is over. It means what? Duration. Period means what? Duration. So I'll be inside your class just for 1 hour. Same thing, you need to draw this graph according to the question. You need to calculate period. So you should draw the graph according to your period, right? So this is the third important point. So let me recollect all these points together. Just before going to the question, I'll just read. Sine curve, okay, passes through, right, 0, 0. And cosine curve, this is also the first point. Cosine curve or the graph, I think graph is the easy word for you. Sine graph passes through 0, 0. Cosine graph never passes through, never passes through 0, 0. And the second important point, either it's a sine curve or the cosine curve, both the curve you should draw up to the maximum distance. It means your graph should reach your amplitude. Your graph should what? Reach your amplitude. It must. Otherwise, there is a mistake in your calculation. So the sine curve, cosine curve must reach your maximum distance. That is called in English amplitude or physical word. In physics, normally we use this word amplitude. What is amplitude? Amplitude means maximum distance. I gave you the example. Maximum from here to Jeddah is what? 500 kilometers, like that. So number 3 is period. Okay, period. I gave you the example. If I come to your class, I'll be in this duration 8 to 9. After that, I won't be there. So it means you have to draw or you have to sketch. Sketch means what? Draw. I told you many times in the class. Sketch your graph to the period what you are calculating. What you are calculating for that particular question. Each question, the period will be changing. Each question amplitude will be changing, but this one never change. This is the structure, you can say the model, right? So never change. So these are the three important points you need to remember before drawing the sine curve and the cosine curve. Let me repeat again. Listen 002 students. Slowly I will tell. Sine curve passes through 0, 0. What do you mean by passes curve 0, 0? This is your point 0, 0. This point. Okay. Right. Cosine curve never. Cosine curve is what? Never passes through 0, 0. So in English, 0, 0 we call it as what? Origin. Right? Okay. Yes. Next thing is sine and cosine curve. You should sketch up to their amplitude value. It means what? Your graph should go to the upper side and the lower side to the maximum distance, which is called amplitude. This one you will calculate when the question is given. Okay, right. Next thing is you must sketch a curve for a period according to the question. So these are the three important points you should remember before doing the sketch. Okay, right. In this exercise, we are going to do two sketch. Before going to do sketch, we are going to do some simple questions. How to calculate amplitude and period. There is a formula for amplitude. There is a formula for period. Very easy. So first of all, this is the general equation, or you can say the pattern of sine curve. And this is the pattern of cosine curve. So every time this equation you should remember. This you should remember. Okay, yeah. This you should remember this equation. What is your sine curve? Y equals a sine bx. What is your cosine curve? Y equals a cosine bx. Okay, right. What is this one? A and this b. You should carefully check in your question. This is your A and this is your B. A means it is attached with sine, attached with cosine. B means coefficient of x. B means coefficient. Okay, coefficient mu'amal x. Okay, coefficient of x. So this is B and this is B. Okay, what's the formula to calculate amplitude? Absolute value of A. What is the formula to calculate this one? Absolute value of A. Look at here. This formula also same. This formula also same. This formula also same. This formula also same. So same formula for both sine and cosine. What is the formula to calculate period? 2 pi divided by absolute value of B. Where is B? B is here. Where is B? B is here. Okay, right. So why, teacher? There is the absolute value given here. Of course, I told you amplitude is nothing but what? Maximum distance. Can distance be negative? No, impossible. So that is why we are using absolute value. Okay, right. Here also the same idea we are going to follow. So please remember, what is the formula for amplitude? Amplitude formula is absolute value of A. What is the formula for period? The period formula is 2 pi divided by absolute value of B. So you need to follow absolute value, keep in your mind. Sometimes negative will be given, so you should make it as positive by using this absolute value. Okay, right. So let's go to the first question. I think the question starts. Find the period and the amplitude. Now there is no sketch. So first one or two questions will be doing for period and amplitude. So what is the first question? The first question is find the period and the amplitude. That means they are asking A and they are asking P. Okay, right. So what is the formula to find the period and amplitude? So amplitude, the formula is, just now we studied absolute value of A. And what is the formula for period? Which is 2 pi divided by absolute value of B. Okay, right. Now, what is the curve given? The curve given is y is equal to 2 sine 5x. I ask you to remember the curve, right? What is the curve? Y equals a sine bx. You should remember. Y equals a cosine bx. This is the model. I told you, remember? This is the model. So what I'm going to do, this is the sine curve. So I write a sine bx. Just compare now, okay? Compare your A, right? A is equal to 2. Compare your B, right? And B is equal to what? It's 5. Got it, everybody? Very easy. Oh, nice. Just compare. Write your general equation, or you can say the model of the sine curve equation, and then just compare. So from this, what is your A value? A value is equal to 2 and B value is equal to 5. Okay. What is the formula for amplitude? Amplitude, the formula is absolute value of A. Absolute value of this 2, already it is positive, so just you can write 2 directly without absolute value, no problem. If there is a negative here, then the absolute works, otherwise no, right? Next we are going to find the period. Okay, so what do you mean by period? Period means the formula 2 pi divided by absolute value of B. This is the formula just now I told you, right? Yes. So this equals 2 pi divided by absolute value of 5. So this equals 2 pi divided by 5. Why, teacher, I'm finding this one, amplitude and period? Just now I told you we are going to do sketch. What we are going to do? We are going to do sketch. For the sketch, what are the three important points I said? First one, doesn't passes, right? And the second 2 point I said what? Regarding amplitude and regarding period. So these 2 things are needed for that. That is why first question we are just calculating, then we are going for sketch. Okay, teacher, now you calculated amplitude and you calculate period. Okay, Zahir, how I can use this one to sketch? What is the meaning? Simply I will tell. This is a sine curve, no problem. So I said maximum amplitude is 2, right? So it means your jeddah distance is maximum 2, like this. You can say this is your plus 2 and minus 2. It shouldn't go, your curve should not go more than this. It means your traveling will be here. It's a sine curve, so it will be maximum here, maximum here, maximum here. This is called amplitude. Okay, finish. What is the use of this period, teacher? Okay, yes, the period, it means the curve stops here. The last point is 2 pi divided by 5. In between, you can take any number of points. Clear? That's called period. That's called what? Period. Okay. So keep in your mind. So the period, we are going to use it for what? Where the curve stops. The last step where the curve stops. Okay. Right. So let's do one more question. I just removed the Wi-Fi from the phone. Sorry for that. Right. Let's go to the next question. Find the period and amplitude of one curve, which is cosine, right? Yes. Now just write what is your, let's go to the solution. So your curve is y is equal to a cosine bx. What is the question given now? Y is equal to, my y doesn't look nice. Okay. So y is equal to, right, 3 by 4, okay, cosine pi x by 2. So what we are going to do? We are going to compare. I told you just, this is the comparison. And compare coefficient of x, keep in your mind, compare, right? So what's your value of A? A is equal to 3 over 4. What's the value of B? Pi over 2. Clear? Right. Let's go to the question. The question is what? We are going to find out amplitude and period. So let us find first amplitude. Okay. What is the formula? Absolute value of A. So absolute of 3 by 4 is equal to 3 by 4. Teacher, do I need to put absolute here? Not necessary. When you have negative, should be careful. Why? Amplitude cannot be negative. Why? What is the word I said for amplitude? The meaning of amplitude? Maximum distance. So distance cannot be negative. Okay. Right. Let's go for next is what? Period. Okay. Period. What's the formula? 2 pi divided by absolute value of 2 pi divided by absolute value of pi by 2. This one you can put in the calculator to avoid the careless mistake. Otherwise, if you cut, you will make mistakes. So better you do it in the calculator. That will be easy for you. Otherwise, you will make mistakes. So, but manually, if you want to do 2 pi and this 2 divided by pi gets cancelled. So, you are going to get 4. If you are not okay with this operations, don't worry. Type in the calculator, get the answer 4. So, we got the amplitude and we got the period. So, once again, I'll give you a clear idea. Suppose if you are drawing this curve, you should go up to 4. That's a maximum period. And you should go here 3 by 4. You should go here minus 3 by 4. Keep in your mind. So this is a cosine curve. So it goes like this. Clear? In this way it will go. I'm not doing sketch. Sketch means the proper sketch you have to do, taking the table and everything. I'm not taking here. Why? Because this question is what? Just find the period and amplitude. There is no sketch. Okay, right. Second question is finished. Let me go for sketch. No, again period is coming. Right. Find the period and amplitude. Again the question is coming, right? So what's your curve? Y is equal to negative 1 by 2 sine 5x by 4. So what's your model of the curve? Y is equal to A sine bx. Just compare this A, okay, right. Just compare this B, okay, right. So your A is equal to negative 1 over 2 and B is equal to 5 over 4. Sorry. So B is equal to 5 over 4, right? So what is the formula for amplitude? Now there is a negative sign is coming. Can you see that? Amplitude is equal to absolute value of A, right? So absolute value of negative half is equal to positive half. Now understand why there is absolute value coming? Okay, right. Now let's go for the next one is period. So what is the formula for period? 2 pi divided by absolute value of B, which is equal to 2 pi divided by absolute value of 5 by 4. So this equals 2 pi divided by 5 by 4. Better use calculator, I'm telling you, otherwise you'll make mistakes. Okay, so this is 8 pi divided by 5. Okay teacher, I know how to do. Okay, you can do 2 pi multiply by 4 by 5 if you are comfortable. If you are not comfortable, use calculator, get the answer 8 pi divided by 5. It's clear? Right. So I think we did 1, 2, 3 questions, right, for finding amplitude and period. Wow, the nice question is coming. So this is a very important question. Sketch, normally the teachers always, they like this type of questions in the exam point of view. So try to learn the sketch carefully because sketch is very important. So sketch the sine curve. Okay, sketch is there and the question is sine curve. And they said one full period. I will explain this one later, no problem. Next we go for the another question is, I don't know what is the question. Yes. Next is sketch the graph and there is a cosine curve and include one full period it's given. Okay, right. So one sine curve I'm going to draw, sketch, one cosine curve I'm going to draw. So any sketch, okay, you need a table, right? You need a table, right? You need a table. That's very important. But for these two curves, there are two other things important. What is that? The first one, you need to calculate amplitude. Teacher, in the question, it is not written amplitude. Do I need to find? Yes, I told you. The curve goes up to here. The curve comes down up to here. Where you will stop this curve? Here. This is period. This is amplitude. So even though in the question there is no amplitude, there is no period, what you need to do? You need to find amplitude and period. You need to find what? Amplitude and period. It is must. So for every sketch question, again I will repeat, every sketch question, you are going to calculate first amplitude, second period, and the third step is you are going to sketch. Third step is what? Sketch. Okay, right. So keep in your mind. So we are going to do this one. So let us start the solution. Y equals 5 sine x. So what is your general equation or the pattern? So it is A sine bx. Compare now. A is equal to 5. Compare now. Careful. Okay. Compare now. So A is equal to 5. Your mind will tell B 0. I know, but it is not 0. It is 1. There is no number, teacher. No, but there is a number 1. If 0 is there, sign will not be there, right? Sine 0x is 0. So you will not be get 0. So you will get 1. But most of your mind tells it's 0, right? So A equals 5 and B equals 1. So we got it, right? So let's go for finding amplitude. So what is the formula for amplitude? Absolute value of A. So absolute value of 5, which is equal to 5. Next formula to find period. So period is equal to 2 pi divided by absolute value of B, right? 2 pi divided by absolute value of b. So 2 pi divided by your 1, which is equal to 2 pi. What is the information? You get it from this. Before start, an engineer must plan before you start your work, right? What is your work now? You're going to draw the sketch. So what are the things you should be careful before starting the sketch? Yes, you should come to your mind. This is your graph, right? It should go here 5, keep in your mind. It should go here -5, the first important thing. This is the amplitude, maximum distance. Okay. The second important thing is the period is what? 2 pi. Imagine this is Dr. Zahir is coming to your class at 8 o'clock and he finishes at 9 o'clock. So this is your finishing time. So maximum the curve should go to up to 2 pi. And the next point, this is a sine curve. So it means it goes like this. Keep in your mind. So these are the key points, 3 important key points you have to keep in your mind. What are the 3 important key points? The first point is, this is a sine curve. Once again repeat, this is a sine curve. So it goes through the origin. First point. What is the first point? It is a sine curve. Okay. It goes through origin. The first point. The second point is amplitude. So amplitude is equal to 5. So it means the graph should go 5 here. The graph should go 5 here up to here. The third thing, the period is equal to 2 pi. So it means the graph should go up to 2 pi here. So these are the 3 important points you should remember. Okay, right. Let's go. Now we are going for sketch. For a sketch, we need a table, right? We need what? We need a table, right? How to create the table? This is very, very important. So I told you maximum you should go up to 2 pi. Starting must be 0. Once again, I'll tell you what is your period. Period is 2 pi. So if the period is 2 pi, you should go up to 2 pi and you should start from 0 your table. In between, you can take your own points. When you are taking your points, you should be very careful. Randomly, you should not choose your own points. The graph won't be perfect. Because pi radian, you should be very careful. The famous values of pi are 0, after that pi by 4, after that pi by 2, okay, remember, after that pi, after that 3 pi by 2, like this you should go. So simply you should not take any values. So that means what? 0, 45 degree, 90 degree, and then it is what? 180 degree, and then 270 degree, like this you should go. So simply taking even 30 degree also you can take, no problem. So simply taking 38 degree, so 3 pi by 8, 2 pi by 7, 8 pi by 9. So unnecessary values you should not take, okay? So you should be careful when the pi measurement are coming. If your starting is 0 and ending is 2 pi, just guess in your mind the ending is 2. So between 0 to 2, what are the numbers you'll take? Let me take half, let me take 1, let me take 1.5, let me take 2. That's it enough, right? 0, half, 1.5, 2. So let me take half, right? And let me take 1. Let me take 1.5 is what? 3 by 2 and then 2. Since it's a radian measure, I must take radian values. I must take radian values. I must take radian values. Clear? Right. So once again, I'll write in a proper model. This will not go into the calculator properly. You'll make mistakes. So what did I write? I write pi by 2. I write pi. I write 3 pi by 2. Pi by 2 is half. Pi is 1. 3 pi by 2 is 1.5, like this. Why I have taken this pi? Because your ending period is pi. Zahir is here. So the Zahir group must be inside. You can see like that. So pi measurement should be inside. So in this way, minimum try to take at least 4 points so that your graph looks nice and easy to draw. Okay. So just take positive values only. No need to take negative values. Just take positive values. Okay. Right. After that, very important thing, you should write your x values here and y is equal to your graph, which is 5 sine 5x. 5 sine 5x or x? 5 sine x. Now, you are going to put all these values here, right? So here, if you see here, pi is there. That means you are going to touch the pi in the calculator. So if you are going to touch pi in the calculator, make sure your calculator is in radian mode. That is very, very important. Otherwise, you'll make mistakes. How to, teacher? I put the radian mode. Shift mode will give you radian mode. So in the calculator, shift, okay, and then mode, and then you press number 4. That is radian. Okay, right. So that is your radian. Okay, shift 4 and then that is your radian. So make sure your calculator must be in radian mode. Okay, right. So let me do this one. Calculator is radian, so number 4. Okay. Yes. Now I'm going to teach you in a simple way. Instead of going one time, easy way, just take your calculator. Okay. Type, typing, I just tell typing. So take your calculator, type. Okay, type. What you need to type? 5 sine alpha x. Okay, alpha only, then x will come. Okay, right. So let me type 5 sine, already bracket is there, alpha x, bracket close. After that, press the button calc. Where is the button calc? There is a button calc. It will ask the question x equals question mark. X equals what? Question mark. So now what is your first value? 0. So press 0, but then you press equal. So press equal, you will get 0. Next, again press calc. Okay, again press calc. It will ask x question mark. Okay, now you press pi by 2. So shift pi divide by 2. You just type like this, shift pi divide by 2 equals. You will get the answer pi. Okay, right. Then after that, again press calc. Okay, press x question mark, press calc, x question mark, and now you're going to press pi. So press pi, so shift pi, press equal sign, you will get 0, right? Again press calc. Okay, press x. Teacher, do I need to write all these steps in the exam? No, just you can do it in the calculator directly. So press x. What is the value? 3 pi by 2. Okay, this x is not there, don't worry. 3 pi by 2. So calc 3 shift pi divide by 2. How should I type, teacher? You should type like this. For example, like 3 pi, this divide use, no? Okay, 3 divide by 2 equals, okay, press equal sign, you will get -5. Okay, then press calc. Okay, press x question mark, and then press the number is what? 2 pi. So press 2 pi, calc, calc, press 2, shift pi, press equal sign, you will get 0, right? These things no need to write in the exam, directly you can write here, which is 0 we got, and then 5 we got, and then 0 we got, and then we got -5, and then we got 0. Okay, right. So these are the values, you got it. Again, I'm telling this one, you can do it in your mind, you can do it in the calculator, and do it in the calculator, okay, right? And then directly you can write this for explanation. I cannot share the screen of the calculator because when the recording is going on, I cannot share. I don't know. Surely I'll find it out one day because there's no time. So then I'll share the calculator screen also with you, right? So that's why I'm writing all these details with you, right? So now you got the table values, right? So 0 is 0, pi by 2 is 5, pi is 0, 3 pi by 2 is -5. This -5 is not clear. So this is -5 and 2 pi is 0. Okay, you got the values. Now you have to draw the sketch. Okay, you have to draw what? Sketch. Okay, let's draw a neat and good and fantastic sketch. Okay, right. So now you're going to write the point 0 and pi by 2 and then pi and then 3 pi by 2 and then 2 pi. Okay, right. And the maximum distance we reached is 5, -5 and then 0. So -5, this is 5, okay, and this is -5, right? So sine 0 is 0, 0. If you want, I can write here. Okay, no problem. 0, 0, this point. Okay, I'll use another color. Okay, so it is 0, 0, this point. Okay, the next point is pi by 2, 5. Pi by 2, this point is 5. Okay, so I'll just put dot. Okay, and pi is 0. Okay, 0 -5, 0. Okay, 0, minus 5, and then 0. 2 pi is 0, right? 2 pi is 0, right? 3 pi by 2 is minus 5, okay, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to draw the sketch. Okay, it comes here, it comes here, it comes here, and then it goes here, okay? So it will be like this, okay? The sine curve will be. Now make sure your sine curve passes through the origin, okay? Sine curve passes through the origin, right? So the maximum distance it's reached. Maximum distance it's reached here, this point, okay? And make sure this point, okay? I'll make a round. I'll make a round. I'll make a round. I'll make a round, okay? This point. Yes, these are the points, okay? And the pattern of the sketch must be like this. Make sure it must be like this. Free hand. You should use your free hand, okay? Right. So this is the pattern. Now next I'm coming to one full period. Actually, this is one full period, but still I want to explain some more thing. Since the function naturally completes one full wave over the interval 0 to 2 pi, that means the range is 0 to 2 pi, it's sufficient to show one full period from 0 to 2 pi, right? However, if you want to show the symmetric behavior, symmetric means what? The same pattern, it goes to the negative side also, right? The same pattern, it goes to the negative side also, right? Same pattern, it goes to the negative side also. Keep in your mind. Same pattern goes to the negative side. It's called symmetric behavior. You can also extend the graph to the negative side from minus 2 pi to plus 2 pi. No problem. Okay. This should show both leftward and rightward oscillation. But it is not required for one full period. But better you do it in the exam full period. Why? Because one full period x is equal to 0 to 2 pi is standard. This is a standard 0 to 2 pi. Because it starts at a neutral point 0 and it goes through the maximum, right? 5. Maximum here 5 it reaches. Okay. And again back to 0 and then again back to minus 5. Then again goes through 0. Then it reaches, right? So fully displaying the sine waves behavior. But including, if you want to include this side 0 to minus 2 pi, if you want to include, it would show the same previous cycle. This is your cycle, right? One cycle. It goes like this, one cycle. Previous cycle, repeating the same pattern in the backward. This is the backward, right? So this is the backward situation, right? This is the backward. But it is not required for one full period. Okay? It is not required. But unless it's specified something you want to full, then you can draw it. So all the time you take the points for the left hand side. Okay? Do the graph and just try to extend. Okay? It's actually while extending this one, it is not full period. It is the symmetric behavior. What is that? Symmetric behavior. Okay, yeah. Symmetric behavior. Okay. Right. Anyway, this is the curve you have to draw. So very carefully, this is very clear sine curve. Right. So every time you extend on the left hand side and right hand side, nothing wrong in that. So it gives a full nice structure. Let's go for graph of y is equal to cosine 2 pi x include one full period. Okay, let's start now. So your curve is y is equal to cosine 2 pi x. What is the pattern of the cosine curve? A cos bx. A cos bx. Okay. Now what we are going to do? We are going to compare this one and we are going to compare this one, right? So when you compare, what's the value of A? Don't say 0, it's 1. A is 1 and B is equal to how much? 2 pi. I missed the 2, you see. Whatever the coefficient of x. Actually, I wanted to see whether you're looking 2 or not. So B is equal to 2 pi. So this is your A, this is your B. So what is the formula for amplitude? Okay. This is absolute value of A, which is absolute value of 1, which is equal to 1. And what is the formula for finding period? 2 pi divided by absolute value of B, which is 2 pi divided by, what is your absolute value of 2 pi? Absolute value of 2 pi is 2 pi, which is equal to 2 pi divided by 2 pi, which is equal to 1. So your period is 1. Your amplitude is also 1. Okay, right. Now you are an engineer. Before starting the sketch, you must be ready with following points. The first point, what is the first point? The first point, cosine curve passes through what? 0, 0, Never passes through 0, 0. So never passes through 0, 0. That is the first point. Second point, the cosine curve. What is your amplitude? It's 1. So here it is 1, here it is minus 1. So the curve goes here and goes here, right? And the third point, what is its your period? Your period is 1. So the curve must end here. This is your end point. So these are the 3 steps you have to remember before starting for sketch. Understand? Simple, easy. Okay, right. Of course, engineers, it's going to be easy, right? So engineers likes drawing, sketches and everything, right? So your profession is going to be like this, right? Okay, we'll start. So to draw the things, we need a table, right? So let's draw the table, right? So x equals y equals cosine 2 pi x. Am I right? Cosine 2 pi x? Yes, correct. Now, let's start. What is your answer here? 1, and it should be 0. How I got 1? This 1 is your period. Again, I'm telling period. So here also I will write, in the previous sketch also, I will write how I have taken this 2 pi. It is period. Okay, right. Yes. Now 0 to, where is the sketch? Okay, 0 to 1, right? Now your points are 0 to 1, right? I told you very simple points and standard points you take it. 0 to 1. Teacher, I'll take half. Okay, if you take half, only 1 point is there. I told you minimum you take 4 points so that the sketch will be nice. So in between 0 to 1, what are the points? The standard points 0.25. Okay, and this is 0.5 and then 0.75, then 1. That's easy for you. Okay, right. So do I need to take like this, teacher? You can choose your own points, but if you choose, for example, 0.3, 0.41, 0.78, 0.82, something in between 0 to 1, your graph doesn't look nice. So always take the standard points. Okay, right. So let's take 0.25, 0.5 and 0.75 and 1. Okay, so this is going to be your table, right? Yes. Okay, I put an extra line here. Okay, right. Yes, take it like this: 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 and 1. Okay, right. Now you need to take your calculator. So teacher, do I need to go with the radian mode or degree mode? Look here, there is no radian here, but there is a radian here. So the best way is radian mode. If you happen to see pi, better use radian mode. Okay, right. So let's start. I taught you in the previous question, you need to type. Okay, you need to type. What you need to type? Cos 2 pi alpha x. So cosine shift 2 pi, 2, but then shift pi alpha x, close the brackets. Okay, right. So after that, what you need to do? Press the button calc. So I'm pressing the button calc. The question is asking x, and then I press 0. The first point is 0. Okay, so I press 0, press equal, I get 1. Then again press the button calc. Okay, I press the button calc. X equals question mark. I press the button 0.25, 0.25, press equal. Okay, and then I get 0. I get 0. Okay, so I get 1, I get 0, right? Next is press the button calc. Okay, press calc, and x equals, what is my next point? 0.5. So x equals 0.5. Okay, 0.5, press equal, and then I get minus 1. So I get minus 1. Next is 0.75. Press the button calc. Okay, press 0.75 and then press 0.75 and press equal, you will get 0. Okay, then press the button calc. Okay, press the button calc, okay, and then x equals question mark, x equals 1, and then press equal sign, press 1, you will get 1. So 1 0 minus 1 and then 0 1 and then 0 1. Okay, right. So this is what we got it. Now what we are going to do, we are going to do the sketch. Wow, right, let's start the sketch. Okay, right, so very neat sketch, good one, right? Okay, so 0, and then what are the points you have? 0 0.25, 0 0.5, 0 0.75, and then 1. Okay, right, you must take these points, be careful. Okay, and the maximum distance reaching is 1, and here also the negative side maximum distance is -1, that's 1, you can see. So the first point is what? 0 comma 1, 0 here and 1 here, right? And the second point is what? Second point after 0 1, 0 0.25, it is 0, so this point is 0 0.250. Next is 0 0.5, you are getting -1, and 0 0.75 you are getting 0, right? And then 1 you are getting as 1, you are getting as 1, 0 0.750, and then 1 you are getting as 1. Okay, this point, right? So it is going to be like this. Let me draw the iPads, sorry. So you can start like this. It goes from here, and then it goes here, it goes here. Okay, I think it doesn't looks nice. Okay, let me sketch again. It goes here. Wow. Okay, so what are the points? I will round off this one, I will round off this one, I will round off, I will round off this one, I will round this. Okay, this one. After that, what I said, you just extend this pattern here also. So wait a minute. Ayyo, sorry, what happened? Okay, so let me draw this one, let me draw this. Okay, and just extend this pattern here also, extend the pattern here also. Let me move here, let me extend this pattern. This has one full period. Okay, I cannot move from here. Okay, so this is the graph. Y is equal to cos 2 pi x. I didn't write the equation for the previous one. So this is a curve. Y equals I think sine, right? Sine 5x, 5 sine x, 5 sine x. Okay, this is the curve, equation of the curve. Right, now what are the things you need to check? You need to check, this is a cosine curve, right? So it does not passes through origin. Yes, origin is here, right? Does not passes. Okay, so this is correct. And it should reach the maximum distance 1 and -1. Yes, it reached the end as the period. Okay, how much is the period? The period is the last one, 1 it reaches. So this finishes your cosine curve, and also it finishes the exercise number 6.4. I hope you understood everything, right? Thank you for watching. Please share it with your friends, okay, so that they will also learn and get good marks. Okay, take care. Goodbye.